Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. All right, Q&A today. We have 5 questions, and we're going to jump right in. First question's about weighted vests. We've got how to get more water in, casein protein. Does anybody know what that is? The ins and outs of that, muscle imbalances, and do we consume the calories that you have burned through exercise? So first question, what is my take on weighted vests? It's becoming, shall we call it a craze or maybe a fad? There's been a lot more chatter about weighted vests on social media. Are they good? Are they bad? Should you use them? I don't see any negatives to using weighted vests. They can be beneficial because it's weight bearing. You're adding extra weight to your frame and walking with these vests. So it can be very good for increasing caloric burn. It's likely going to increase your heart rate a little bit. It can increase bone density, which is great as we get older. It can be a way to increase strength, to increase endurance. I say yay. If you don't have, let's say, a treadmill to incline that treadmill, let's say you have a walking pad, for example, and you want to increase the intensity of your walk, I think that a weighted vest would be a fantastic thing. So that is my 2 cents on weighted vests. All right, next up, any recommendations for ways to get more water in? So I aim for 4 liters every day. Is it plain Jane water? Absolutely not. I have water. I have electrolytes in this water bottle. I drink 2 of these every day. One of them is nettle tea. One of them is dandelion tea. I count this towards my water intake. I will often drink coconut water. I count that towards my water intake as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just plain water. Now, ways to increase your water is add flavoring to it. Add electrolytes, add mineral drops, add salt, add berries, add lemon, add limes. I would stay away from anything that has artificial sweeteners. So I know there's like Crystal Light. Well, I don't even know if that exists anymore. My mom used to, when I was a kid, we used to have Crystal Light quite a bit. I believe there's Mio and like just a bunch of other water flavorings. Now, with those things, I would just be cautious of artificial sweeteners. And I just pulled up a list here of like, what the heck are artificial sweeteners? So common examples include aspartame, saccharin, sucralose, and ACE-K. It's acesulfame or acesulfame potassium. So I'll say those again: aspartame, saccharin, sucralose, and acesulfame. I don't even know how to pronounce it. ACE-K, I call it, acesulfame potassium. We don't really want to be consuming a ton of artificial sweeteners. It can be gut disrupting, if it's something you're consuming quite regularly. And it kind of just toys with our taste buds a little bit. So things with stevia would be a better option. Things with monk fruit would also be a better option. So hopefully that's helpful. I set timers if I find I'm really struggling with my water intake. Lately, I haven't had a problem because it's been so flippin' hot out. But setting timers, I make the goal for myself like 2 liters before noon. That's a non-negotiable habit that I hold myself to it. I don't just sip water when I drink. Like, I am getting a good 1-2 cups per time that I drink. So That's what works for me. If anybody else has any tips, I welcome them in the comments below. I like to use my Fitbit. I know some people use their Apple Watch just to set silent timers to go off every 30, 45, or 60 minutes to remind themselves to drink water. Bring your water bottle with you when you are going to the store, when you are going into your vehicle, when you are going to appointments. Like, make it more achievable for yourself by bringing hydration, water, or liquids with you when you're out and about. All right, next question. Can you help me dive into casein protein? Do I need it? How is it different from my post-workout protein I'm already taking? So this specific client is using either a whey isolate or a collagen-based protein or a plant-based protein because she does have a history of digestive issues, and casein is the primary protein in cow's milk. It is a slow digesting protein. A lot of bodybuilders use casein. I personally don't recommend it to anybody just because of the potential for digestive issues, because about 80% of it is milk protein. The texture of it, like, it's a thicker protein. It's more of a gel-like consistency. Like, that's what it does in your stomach. So it is slower digesting. It keeps you fuller longer. Often, like in the bodybuilding world, bodybuilders or specific athletes will take it before they go to bed. And it's just like a slow releasing, slow digesting protein throughout the night. These people are typically on some pretty strict diets. So it just helps them to stay fuller longer. And it actually helps with sleep, because if you are dieting quite heavily, if you're a boxer, a wrestler, if you have to like cut weight, if you have to make a specific weight class, you are dieting really hard typically. And when you are, shall we say, starving your body, your sleep will be hugely affected. And so they do use casein protein to help them sleep as well. And like I said, to keep them full through the night and asleep, and to balance their blood sugar. So for the general population, not something that I would recommend. All right. My abs on the left seem much stronger on the right. I used to belly dance, and that was my good side. She says she has a line and a definition on her left side, but nothing on the other side. Even though she does full body exercises, the one stronger side seems to take over. And I love this question because this is, we can use this for any muscle group, and every single one of us has some type of imbalance. Some are a lot worse than others. Like myself, my left side is much weaker than my right side. Often we think if we are right-handed that we're going to be a lot stronger on our right side, but that's not always the case, because we typically will keep our dominant side as the side that does all the like intricate things, like to open your car door, to turn a key, to open doors. And if you're carrying a bag, groceries, backpack, whatever it might be, maybe your child, you will typically carry it on your non-dominant side, to keep your other hand free to be able to help you to do more of those intricate movements. But when it comes to training or exercising dominant versus non-dominant sides, this is something that you have to tune into a lot more deeply from a mind muscle connection. meaning that and if we're just doing shoulder presses, for example, let's say that my right side is a lot stronger, it is automatically like it's going to push that weight up. And that's what this individual said. So I have to think when I'm working out, like I'm really, really concentrating on form and technique, on strength, like really thinking and visualizing that weak side and thinking about pushing it, thinking about pushing it even harder than my strong side. And that goes for any muscle group, and that goes for like any exercise that you are doing. I think we get so caught up, especially in group fitness, in classes, when you're surrounded by other people. Maybe there's a timer, there's people pushing, you're like motivated and you're excited. There's a little bit of competition going. Sometimes we ignore our form, our speed. And so this is where imbalances can get a lot worse because you're just rushing through things. You're not really thinking about it. You're getting through the workout, but you're not connecting to your body. There is huge benefit to connecting to the muscle that you are working when you are working out. And so that is something that I encourage every single one of my clients. It's something that I've had to learn to do. And even in the last year, I have now been training at home in my home gym for the last year. And I have noticed a massive improvement in my lower body. My glutes are growing. My hamstrings look more defined. My quads look really good as well. And I think that a big part of it is me not feeling rushed through my workouts. It used to take me, 15, 20 minutes to get to the gym and back. And it just felt like I had to get back home to get back to work, where I just go into my basement. I give myself an hour, like I block off an hour, and that's like plenty of time for me to get a full warm up in, the meat and potatoes, the strength workout, and then a cool down at the end. And I've slowed everything down. I'm not lifting any heavier. I'm not lifting heavier at all than I was at the gym. I'm actually lifting less because I'm not doing leg presses, the machine type work where I would go pretty darn hard. But I am really, really focusing on form, on range of motion, plenty of rest, just concentrating more on what I am doing for that hour and noticing huge changes in my body composition. So train smarter, not harder. That's my motto. All right, last but not least, are you someone who counts your exercise calories and consumes them back? I have never counted my exercise calories. I don't know why. It's just not something that's ever been ingrained in me. I know with like fitness watches, Apple watches, Fitbits, like it can keep track of that, but it is wildly inaccurate. It uses a very basic formula for every single body, every person. We're all very different. There are so many factors that go into play when it comes to caloric burn. It's not just based off of weight and height and heart rate, but the amount of muscle that you have on your body. So like a large person who weighs a lot more might show up as burning more calories, but that's not true. If they don't, like, muscle burns a shit ton of calories. If you have a higher body fat percentage, you are not going to burn more calories. And that goes according to at rest and during your workouts. Plus, even like after your workouts, if you have a lot of muscle, you are burning more calories to basically rebuild, to build that muscle. So I do not count my exercise calories. I think that there's better things to put your focus to. if you are asking this question from a fat loss perspective, your nutrition has a way bigger impact than your exercise calories does. And actually, just your general movement, walking, fidgeting, me sitting here talking with my hands, doing chores, going to water my garden, I've got laundry going, like all of these movement habits that I have throughout my day will be adding up to more than my 1 hour strength training workout or cardio workout or whatever it is that I am doing. So I just want to make sure I answer that whole question. Do I consume them back? No, because I don't even know what I'm burning. I don't suggest that you consume them back, especially if you are on a fat loss journey. Then it makes no sense, in my opinion, to be consuming the calories that you have burned. And again, you could be overestimating, underestimating watches, treadmills, cardio machines. That calorie burn it tells you it's not specific to you. It is a general formula. So not something that I would spend any energy or time thinking about, or shall I say obsessing about. All right, ladies, that is it for today. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.